It's another edition of Six Pack Cinema. This week we're talking Murder on the Orient Express, and you'll never believe it. Jimmy, Dave, they agree on almost everything. And John, me, I don't know what the fuck is going on. Let's go to the intro.
Dude, you should review movies.
Oh my god, yes.
Telling you.
Okay, I've had a couple, so time for movie review.
Hey, how you guys doing tonight?
Wonderful.
Good. Jimmy?
It's a good Monday night.
Yeah, I'm doing good.
I want to start off. If I'm not bringing a lot of energy, it's because I just watched HBO's War Dogs, and I'm sad.
Well, tell us about that.
War Dogs. It's about wartime service dogs and their handlers, and
Oof, that sounds super depressing.
it was a lot of good stories. But one guy he got shot and he got pulled off and got not decommissioned. He got discharged, and his dog was still healthy. Kept going, and they said, you know what? When the dog retires, it'll come back to you. That's like the rule. But the dog went into service for some police station up in Maryland or whatever, and the handler up there kept it and refused to let the Army Ranger see it, even when the dog was dying.
Good.
And I'm sad.
Jesus fucking Christ. Way to really bring down the mood of this episode right away.
Yeah, so PSA, Paul Leslie, you're a cocksucker.
Wow. When I saw War
Fuck you,
Dogs,
Paul Leslie. Shout out, sponsor the pod.
yeah, it was about Miles Teller and Jonah Hill selling weapons.
Much different.
That
Much different. But
That
yeah.
movie really changed when you saw it.
Yeah, the sequel is wild.
All right, and with that, let's hop into our snap impressions. Since you're so depressing, Sheehan, Jimmy, why don't you start?
Snap impression of Murder on the Orient Express. I liked it. I don't think it was like one of the. I think there were parts of it that could have been done better. Mainly like how they revealed the story, but the tone, the cinematography, the acting, the like kind of quirkiness of the main character. I enjoyed it. Overall, I was positive on this movie walking away from it. Snap impression done.
All right. Sheehan, what about you?
I'm not sure, to be honest. I walked out of it, and I don't know if I liked it. It's one of those classic questions. Can a good movie with a shit ending still be a good movie?
I don't know. I don't think it had a shit ending, though. So we'll get into that in a bit.
I was disappointed by it, for sure. At one point, I said it was like a better version of the movie Clue. And that was before I saw it. And after seeing it, it's like, damn, I nailed that one. Because you guys seen Clue?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, but I mean, this has been a story that's been around since like the late 19th century.
Yeah, but I don't read books, dude. So shut up. This is about movies.
There's also been a movie.
So I don't care. Whatever. In my mind, Clue was the first one to do this, and Clue was great. And it was too much like Clue.
All right. I'm pretty sure Clue was taking inspiration from this story, but okay.
I disagree.
My snap impression was I liked it. Positive experience. Sheehan's snap impression was too much like Clue. Dave?
I liked it. I didn't love it. To steal a phrase you used a few weeks ago for The Snowman, I thought it was a very cozy movie. Like, I'm 100% going to watch this around the holidays with my family at some point.
I agree. So you and I seem to be on the very same page, Dave. Well, first I went and saw like what the critics said, and I'm just gonna Rotten Tomatoes is dead to me. I just don't care anymore because there's no like rhyme or reason to what they do. When I saw it, this was at like a 50%, which is, I mean, just in my opinion, bizarrely low for what Rotten Tomatoes has done. Like, there's no correlation between how they rank movies. It makes no sense. There's no standard.
I think the problem is, even if a reviewer says it's an okay movie, but it's not amazing, that sometimes get like, and they don't manually put in positive or rotten or fresh, it'll automatically count that as a rotten review.
It is weird
because on their part, I think it's not a great system.
It is weird because there's more like positive reviews than negative reviews, but it has less than whatever. And I also think that critics, to be a movie critic, is to find something wrong with a movie. That's like by definition, that's what they think they do.
and the first people to review movies don't want to come out and be like, that was so good, and then the next person be like, no, you idiot, this was wrong and this was wrong. So they all just come out negative right away. Like, this was so it was lacking. I like the only problem was with this movie, and this is just a good base question for the three of us. When did you figure it out? Because I figured it out like super early, and that seems to be what I'm reading in the reviews. They like the bad thing. Like, they didn't draw out your suspense for long enough, which is the only thing I would say wasn't good.
Yeah, no, I knew going into it just because I liked the original movie,
Okay.
so I just kind of assumed they were gonna stick with the ending. But I agree, I wasn't engaged with this movie like I usually am with a whodunit. I was more just along for the ride, watching Hercule ask questions, but I never was like sitting there frantically trying to figure it out.
Yeah, I agree again. I didn't even watch it as a murder mystery because by the third time, someone like knew whatever the guy's name is. Like, they were all
Armstrong.
Yeah, but what's his actual name? Like Cassetti? Yeah.
Cassetti.
They knew Cassetti. I was like, okay, they all were in on it together. And then I just sat back and enjoyed the movie. Like, I enjoyed just watching how it played out because I didn't need the big twist or figuring out to make the movie because I already knew it. Which a lot of people wanted the twist or like it to hit them like, oh, but they didn't. That did not have this as a murder mystery. So it was more just like a cozy film.
Well, maybe I'm in the minority because I did not know what was going on. Well, I knew what was going on, obviously. I didn't know everyone did it until we came to the end and I saw the Last Supper kind of style table.
No way! Wait, really?
I'm serious, yeah.
Wait, really?
Yeah, for real. Because when I saw them all lined up like that, I grabbed my wife's leg. I was like, 12 stab wounds.
Realize in Suburbicon that they hired the mobsters to kill his wife.
Yeah.
That is equally.
Yeah,
No,
bad.
I think it's worse. I think
Yeah.
I think
Okay.
I fully admit that I'm not defending myself, and I think maybe that's why I didn't like it because I felt so dumb. But yeah, the second they showed all 12 of them lined up, I was like, 12 stab wounds in a random order. Of course, that's what it meant.
I mean, I had that same like, oh, there was randoms to the stab wound. Probably the third interview. Maybe it was when he interviewed her outside. It was one of the times where there was like, oh, they all know this Cassetti dude, so they all did it. And then I was like, well, in the stab wounds. So yeah, you figured that out really late.
Yeah.
I mean,
for sure.
I thought.
No, I played along with what the writers wanted, what the director wanted. So maybe that bothered me the most. That the director
I'm pretty
had
sure
me.
the director wanted you to pick up and think about it a little bit before that scene.
Yeah, I think
The director had me like molding my brain in his hands, and like I was completely under his control, and I hated that.
I think at that scene, we were as a viewer more supposed to be thinking, oh shit, how does this play out? It's all 10 of them versus one of him. But for you,
No. No. I was like, oh shit, there it is. All right.
all right, well that's funny. I thought that was.
Um,
I think that's like anyone that watches this movie, that'll be an interesting first question. Like, when did you figure it out? Because yeah, I guess it worked for Sheehan and I'm sure other people, but the biggest complaint I read was that they didn't make it hard, and like it was, and I don't know how you make it hard because they all knew him in his background. So for me, it's like I don't know how you do that.
You said neither of you have seen the 74 version, right?
No.
In that, there was a lot of like double entendres that he doesn't like. You wouldn't know that he figured it out until the very end when he's like confronting the 12 of them. So that'd be one way to do it, but I think they wanted him to have more direct questioning in this, just because one, I think they think audiences are stupider, and they also wanted to make it a little bit different and not just a straight up remake of the old version.
That makes sense, but I don't know. Maybe that's why I didn't like it so much either, because as they're going along, it's like, well, did you know the Armstrongs and you work for the Armstrongs and you flew? I'm like, well, this is fucking stupid. Well, this is just the most ridiculous coincidence of all time. So I'm sitting there in the complete dark. It's going way over my head the whole time. Yeah.
You were like, the coincidences of this is, I cannot believe it. There's no.
Well, this is bullshit. What? How are they expecting?
What
me
are
to
the
believe
odds
this?
they'd all end up on this?
Yeah, ludicrous, as I was thinking. Yeah.
What did you think?
Stupid person.
That's amazing.
Well, if we're just going into deep
So-
dives, right? Is that what
Sure. Yeah.
what did you think of the opening scene, the solo case to introduce his character?
Suave. Slick as fuck. Loved it.
I really liked it, and I even the very opening shot when it was just coming up over the Wailing Wall, I thought that was a fantastic way to start it.
The moment he stepped in the shit and was like, whatever, and he's like, it's not the shit I hate, it's the imbalance of it. At first, I thought he said it's the embarrassment, so then he stepped in the other one, and then I was like, okay, he had to say the imbalance of it. But from that moment, I was like, this is going to be kind of like the tone was set that it's like a lighthearted but serious, I don't know, whatever, you know, if you saw it, you know what tone this movie was. I thought it was set from that moment where I was like, okay, this is going to be like quirky and fun.
Yes, I agree 100%, and I also love that pretty much every other character besides Perot was grounded and serious, and he just had this, like you said, quirky, larger-than-life personality that really, every time he was, like, doing anything almost, I just had, like, a stupid grin on my face enjoying him just being a detective.
From the moment...
And you know what?
Go ahead, Shane.
Can I say, opposite of what I did in the whole movie, from the second the guy said, or the Hercule, how do you say it? Hercule, sure. The second he said, cover the south gate, and he jammed his cane into the wall, it's like, oh, this guy, he knows he's going to run.
Yeah, that was cool.
I was way ahead of that one. Way behind the rest of the movie. Maybe I just hung my head on that and went to sleep. Maybe.
You're like, I got this one.
Got it in the bag. I'm a smart man with this movie. I'm all about this.
Yeah, I didn't have my notes with me, and I was in a full theater, so I couldn't use my phone. So I didn't write like specific things out. So I'm trying to remember, but I know that I was trying to write in my phone. Once they introduced most of the characters and they got on the train, and they had that very first meeting with everyone was sitting on the train. From that moment, I knew I was like, all right, I'm strapped in. Like, this is going to be fun. And then it never really got as good as I was thinking it was going to get, but it never got below that, if that makes any sense. So it just kind of stayed plateaued right there, while I was just like, all right, I'm on the train with them. I'm along for the ride.
Yep.
Totally.
Hey, you back, Dave?
Yep, all I heard was that you're on the train for the ride with them, and I agree.
Well, I was just saying, my main point was, from that, after all the introductory stuff and that first scene on the train, I was like in my chair, like sat up a little bit, and I was like, I like this. Like, I'm in. I'm strapped in. This is going to be a quirky little fun ride.
Oh, for sure. I think that scene where he's first walking onto the train and how they're just showing the compartment by compartments was very well shot in a great way to kind of just give you the layout of the whole train.
Yeah, but from there, it never really went up. It just kind of stayed at that plateau where I was expecting it to be like there was going to be another section where I really perk up, but I never did. Shane.
I got a point to make about that one, since you said when they're walking through the train.
The oneer?
I was hoping, and this would have maybe given it that little upper that you were looking for. The guy who didn't show up for the train.
Yeah.
I thought that was going to be.
I have some
like
background
a bigger
info
thing,
on that.
right?
So, in the original story and the 74 movie, the group of them had booked that extra room just under a fake person's name so that they could blame the murder on him and so that no random person would be on the train with them.
Oh, I wish they conveyed that
How
somehow.
about that?
Because I was...
Yeah, I think
And
they were
that's
still
why
going
Josh
for that,
Gad-
but
That's why Josh
they
Gad was
just
so
kinda-
like stunned. Like he was like, "Whoa, who are you?"
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes more like thinking about it like that makes way more sense. Why he was like, "Why the hell is this guy in my room?"
Yeah. I was wondering, like, who's that 12th person? Because there's no way it's just a random guy. Like, there had to be a story, and that makes a lot of sense. They booked a fake name.
It does.
Yeah, cool. I'm glad you had that answer.
They really should have upped that one up. Like, played it up better.
Yeah, they should have explained that. A little
Cool.
more.
Hey,
For
hey,
sure.
good for you for
So
knowing
what-
the original movie.
Yeah. Background knowledge coming in handy for once. So what else did you guys like about the movie though? I was all in on everyone's mustaches. I just love
Glorious
that every
mustaches.
single male character had an outrageous mustache.
Glorious mustaches. That the fact that the main character Hercule had he had 2 mustaches on the same face. That was amazing. I've never seen that.
Yeah.
Have you?
Seriously, I had a beard earlier tonight, and I went to shave it to just a mustache for this, and I was trying to figure out how I could do that, and I was just like, I don't have enough facial hair.
Well, because you don't have
Facial
like
baldness.
6
It
years of
affects-
growing a mustache.
Yeah.
One out of every 10 men.
That takes years.
So instead,
of,
you look like a dumb hick from Florida State.
That takes years of
Hey,
growing,
fuck you.
combing, and like waxing probably to get that.
The dude had a mustache cradle for his sleeping. Come on.
That was amazing.
Yeah, it was.
I think this was in my Mount Rushmore of movie mustaches. God, I wish I could grow one, like a glorious, thick, bushy mustache.
Yeah.
All right. So
I'm
what
present.
I liked, if you liked a mustache, the cinematography was great.
Yo.
Yeah, it was.
Good?
It was
Right?
really good.
Cinematography was great. I also saw some bitch ass critics complaining like, oh, they think they're so cool shooting in these small places with their odd camera angles. They think that makes them geniuses. Like, shut up. It was really cool the way they filmed inside that tiny ass train with all the camera angles and the aerial views.
The cut above.
And the
I agree with you for the most part. The one time I didn't like it though was when he was interviewing DeVoe's character, and it randomly cut to a Dutch angle, and it was just very off-putting. I felt like
Dutch angle? What?
that's the type of like above, down at him. It's a weird angle they use in directing.
Well, we're the common man movie thing. I have no idea what the fucking Dutch angle is. I didn't go to film school for a year. Come on.
Yeah, neither did I.
Come on.
Suck it.
um,
I
Jesus
just
Christ.
read a lot of movie reviews.
Yeah, but-
so that's how I know what they called that scene or what that.
I didn't
angle.
notice that, but I liked all of that. The best shot of the whole thing for me, and like, I thought it was awesome. Like, when he's walking on top of the train once they're stuck, and they know there's a murder on there, and he asks for like the layout of the train, the blueprint or whatever you have it, and he's walking on top, and they're in between the mountains, and the sun is shining behind the mountains. I don't know if you can picture it. It was really cool. The whole thing, the cinematography was awesome.
Yeah.
Big fan.
But that scene, as beautiful as beautiful as it was, it bothered me because what the fuck is he doing up there?
He was checking to see if there's any anyone escaped up the roof, or if there's path marks in the snow.
Yeah, but you can look at that and say, oh no, it's just not there because it was snow on top of it. You know?
Yeah, but no, he's looking if there's footmarks in the
I
snow.
don't know. I feel
on
like
the
they
ground
got
on
they
either
got to
side
at
of the
least
train.
check to make sure there wasn't anyone else there.
Yes,
You can't just assume no one was out
yeah,
there.
he was looking for like footprints or clues in the snow on the surroundings,
Okay,
taking
sure.
all the observers in.
Maybe I'm just not a good detective.
No, you're a terrible. You're
well,
a terrible
obviously.
detective. You didn't know they were all in on it.
Yeah, and it was laid out pretty early.
Whatever.
Hey, I have something. That Daisy girl, this actress that was in Red.
Daisy Ridley, yeah.
Yeah, so she's only in like Star Wars or something. I'd never seen her before in any movie.
Yeah, she did some stage plays, and then she's the lead of the new Star
Well,
Wars.
Pretty big deal.
Yeah, well, she was really pretty, and I thought she was really good. in
Very.
this.
I thought she was really good, but I thought both her and Defoe were underutilized. I wish we had spent more time with both of them.
No, Defoe.
Not
we got just enough
Yeah,
Defoe.
not-
We got just enough.
I'll take more.
Maybe
more
because
of
I
this
love
girl.
him so much and I haven't seen him in anything recently, so I wanted more of him. But yeah, no, Daisy, I 100%. I feel like we needed maybe 5 or 10 more minutes overall with all the passengers, and the couple of minutes devoted to her would have been great.
Nah, I liked how it was done because, I mean, I wanted more Michelle Pfeiffer personally, but they
She was.
they spent equal amount of time on every passenger to make sure that no one got a little extra attention. It was really well planned out. So I know you
Yeah,
you
but
want
at
the
the same
and by the way,
time, I
no,
would've-
Dave, let me finish.
Oh, fuck you. We have no idea if my internet will be working when you finish.
I mean, if to say you want more Defoe is like inviting more Busey on your screen. You don't know when he's gonna go crazy. So just the right amount of Defoe, they nailed it. Don't push it. Don't push your luck, because he could just like implode and go. You know how he was using like a really weird accent intentionally?
Mm-hmm.
He could have gone like a third
I
accent.
would love to believe he just showed up and was doing that accent, and nobody had the balls to tell him no.
He probably picked up a gun on set. He's like, no, I got a gun too, guys. No, I'm gonna be a bad guy too.
Absolutely. But no, I think they needed just like a few more minutes, even if it wasn't with Defoe, if it was just with Ridley or Pfeiffer, just so you think it could be those characters alone, and then suddenly it's a twist that it's all of them would be good. I just think, similar to how we've said it in a few other movies, they spent so much time trying to give each plot line and each story equal amount that it kind of ended up taking away from them all. There was less of a focus on than I would have liked.
Yeah, but then it helped out people like me who were just completely confused as to who actually killed him until the very end. So good on
but
them.
That's not a good thing.
Well, it worked for me, and I think I was pissed off about it. So you're right. Maybe it didn't work.
I wanted.
Yeah,
I'm
I
going
don't
back
think
and
you were
forth.
supposed to be
I keep going
confused.
back and forth in this one. I don't know if I liked it or didn't like it. If I was pissed off about it, if I enjoyed it, I don't know.
I feel like your
I'm a
ratings
complete
later are
pretzel.
just going to be like a shot from the hip.
Yeah, I'm a complete pretzel on this guy.
Sorry, before I pass it off to Jimmy, I do want to say I just have a note. Michelle Pfeiffer stole the whole movie, in my opinion. She was incredible.
No. Josh Gad did. Josh Gad stole it.
Okay.
All right, we keep cutting off Jimmy. Let's let Jimmy
Well,
speak.
I forget what I was going to say, but I'm just going to comment. I don't like Michelle Pfeiffer at all. Was she in Mother? Is it the same girl?
She was.
Yeah.
She was.
And we had this conversation.
Harrison's wife
We
in
had this
Mother.
conversation then too, right? You guys liked her, and I don't
Yep.
like her at all. Okay. Yeah.
Nostalgia.
Yes. Okay. So Six Pack Cinema, we've established this, and we are staying true to it. I don't like. I'm glad. I don't like her. She like weirds me out. She got Botox all over, and she's like plays like a drunk old lady, and I think I'm just scared of those ladies, so didn't like that. Josh Gad is.
No, that's my type.
Josh Gad was awesome, but what I was gonna say is that Johnny Depp. I know that he had to die because that's the storyline, but whenever Johnny Depp plays a human being that's pretty normal-ish, I love it. And there's only like 5 movies maybe where he does that. So I wanted more. Like when he was having that conversation, when he sat down with the cage, he's like, "Do you mind if I sit down with you because dessert is an indulgence? So I want to indulge." I was like, "Fucking yeah! I love this Johnny Depp. I love when he's not being a weirdo,
Absolutely.
weird dude." And so I was like, and then he dies the next scene. I was like, "Damn it!"
We needed more Johnny Depp.
I think this is the best Johnny Depp performance we've had in a long time. I don't think you guys are fans of Black Mass. I'm okay on it, but I thought he was good in that. But even in his short time in this, I think he was better than he was in Black Mass.
Black Mass was just like, like it should have been so much better.
Yeah.
This might have been his best performance since Gilbert Grape, I think.
Well, Blow is in between there, right?
I would. Blow's up
and
there.
I think Gilbert Grape is his best performance,
What about Chocolat?
Maybe.
barring maybe this.
Excellent.
It's been a long
excellent
time since
film.
I've seen it. I need to rewatch it.
That's an excellent film, Jim.
I don't think I've seen it since I was a kid, so.
I mean, I know you don't like his weird performances, but him as Jack Sparrow, there's none better.
Well, him as Jack Sparrow in the first one, there's none better.
Yes, that's what I was
And
going to
then
say.
they just kind of like Flanderized him immediately to the point of annoyance.
Is this the Jimmy and Dave agree show?
Very weird. Very
This
weird.
is weird.
100%.
We have never been on the same
100%.
wavelength.
Jack Sparrow in the first Pirates was awesome, and then everything after that was just self-indulgent. Like he just got like zany for zany's sake and was weird as hell. And
Yeah, that's what pirates
Yeah.
do, dude. Come on.
Absolutely. Because in the first one, he was a lead, but he was like the supporting lead to bounce off of all the straight characters. And then in the other ones, they made him the lead over the other two. This is
Has
great.
anyone
I
been
like being on
actually,
the same page with Jimmy.
Can I do a little tangent? Has any character, any actor have any had more Halloween costumes based on them more than Johnny Depp?
no, because he always plays like ridiculous people.
Okay. Well, good.
I feel like there's got to
That-
be.
Great conversation
know.
there.
I don't know.
I mean, probably.
I
Probably
feel
Will
like there's
Ferrell.
got to be
Like,
out there, like maybe
Will Ferrell.
Jack Nicholson,
Tom
just
Hanks,
because
maybe.
he's been in so many movies.
No, I just found our answer. It's Will Ferrell.
Who?
Yeah.
What would you dress up as, like, to be
You
him?
got
Anchorman.
You got
Spartan
Anchorman.
cheerleader.
You got semi-pro. You got Ricky Bobby. You
The cheerleader.
got
Cheerleader.
cheerleader. Like any character.
Yeah, okay. I was thinking Tom Hanks is another one, but
Yeah. Just so many movies.
Yeah.
no, Will Ferrell is. You're right. That's probably the one. All right, good talk,
Good talk.
guys. Let's talk in Halloween, in
Back
November.
to Murder on the. There's been another murder.
So no, I also really love just the whole feel and period of the movie. Just that early turn of the century travel, like adventure type of feel to it. Even though it was contained to a train car, I think that led to me thinking it was a cozy movie. It reminded me of the type of movies I'd watch as a kid.
Well, it's like a winter getaway, which is like in a cabin, but you're on a train. It's like this movie and the Titanic make me yearn for what was probably a miserable experience. Like the Titanic.
No, I don't think it was miserable. Sorry.
I don't know, man. Like that bumpy ass track on that train and being stuck there with 7 people. No internet, no
But what that guy said, the conductor, he was like, "Yeah, you're in a cozy little room with 12 strangers, and it's constantly rocking. You had nothing to do for 3 days. Come on, man."
That guy was
I
amazing.
was all in on that, and then they showed this Daisy girl. What's her name again? Daisy what something? They showed her walk past the
Daisy
camera
something.
in her red dress at the like one of that scene, and I was just like, "He's right. He's right. This train ride would be awesome."
3 days, rock and rolling. Yeah.
All right, we need a GIF of you doing that.
I was dancing for those who can't hear. You know,
Yeah, great radio.
white boy dancing. White boy dancing.
And then just
No,
my
I mean,
last
this-
favorite,
this-
my last thing
This,
I had
this
under,
movie made me want to take train rides.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah,
fuck,
for
fuck
sure.
planes forever.
That's been on my
Trains
bucket
is-
list for a long time. Like
Trains are
going
riding in
coast to
style.
coast on the train. I think that would be an awesome trip.
Mhm.
But that's not what this podcast is about. So the last thing I wanted to bring up under my favorites at least is I thought Kenneth Branagh, for directing and starring in it, he looked like he was having the time of his life.
Yeah. It was great. Did you guys watch any of those behind the scenes videos?
No.
No.
There's some really long ones. I don't know how much you're into it, but of like the cinematography and the practical sets, like that train station in Vienna, I think it was, or wherever. They rebuilt that. That was a set that they built. It was crazy. And then they were out in the snow. Like, I don't know. It was cool. The way they filmed some scenes, they have all that stuff. So if you're into the techie cinematography stuff,
Shoot those over to me. Shoot those over to me, and I'll tweet them out so our listeners
I'll
can
try and
give them a
I'll try and
watch
find
too.
the
Follow us on Six Pack
The
Cinema.
first one I found, they got deleted pretty quick, copyright, and then I searched around. Someone else had posted it, but I'll look around. They were really cool.
All right, sweet.
There
Well,
was-
if
there
we
was
find
another
them,
one.
we'll tweet them out.
There's another one I was told to search out. It's one where Josh Gad and a couple other cast members corner Daisy Ridley and try to interview her.
While she's in this,
And it
I
turns
saw that like months and months ago.
Yeah, it turns into
when they were
drilling her
filming.
for spoilers on Star Wars, and by the end of it, the whole cast is there trying to drill her
that's funny.
for spoilers, not drill her for like Hollywood.
Like Jimmy wants to.
She's pretty.
Like all of Hollywood apparently does that.
Yeah, well, that's too depressing. Let's not go into that.
It's made vlogging real fucking tough. I'll tell you that much.
I have been super depressed every time I check the news to find something to write
Hey,
about.
let's check out entertainment Reddit. Oh, rape, harassment, pornography, pedophilia. It's just all the same bullshit all the way down. Like, all right, get some staffers today.
Yeah. But all right, what else do you guys got under your favorites? What did you like about the movie?
No, I
Still
think,
indifferent on it. Still
Yeah.
very indifferent. I think now I'm pissed off.
With that, let's move on to our dislikes. Since you seem to dislike it the most, Sheehan, you can take it away.
I dislike the most how I just didn't get it, and I feel embarrassed now.
yeah.
Well, you should.
I feel pretty stupid. Because, I mean, like I said, that epiphany moment where I was like, 12 stab wounds, yeah. I did.
And
what I
I'll give
didn't
you
like
another
was-
little detail on that wasn't in this, but it's just from the story in an old movie. that they decided to each do a stab so that no one would know who had the actual killing blow because none of them were killers.
Well, no shit. That was pretty fucking obvious after the fact, wasn't it, Dave?
But
Come on.
the whole thing was pretty obvious, and you didn't figure that out.
Yeah, well, just rub it in some more. Come on.
I'm going to.
I'm
Let me
opening
get
it
some
up.
salt for your wound.
What else did I also
Alright,
I
sorry,
didn't
go
like
on.
how Michelle Pfeiffer took off her wig and looked not hot for like a minute. Like she's supposed to look like a good-looking 60-year-old woman, not like a average one. When she looks average, she's no longer hot anymore, and the mystique is gone. Don't make her look ugly.
But that was the whole thing. Her character was broken down and was only putting on an act.
Michelle Pfeiffer's
what,
there to put asses in seats, Dave. Come on. They could have gotten
I
any
love
average
Michelle
ugly woman
Pfeiffer.
to do it. They picked Michelle Pfeiffer.
And that's why she looks like a smoke show for 90% of the movie.
Don't drop the veil. That's all I'm saying.
Smoke show. You guys are fucking nuts.
Did you not see Catwoman,
No.
Jimmy?
No.
Come on,
Did you
man.
not see her in this?
Yeah, I did.
Come
Didn't
on,
like
Jimmy.
All right, Jimmy, what about you? I know you liked the movie, but anything in particular you found lacking?
Yeah, it was just like the way the story unraveled, but I'm not sure in a movie how you do it differently, because you would have to like the best, like the substance of it was the interviews and him like interviewing and showing his question style and skill. That was the good stuff, but they kind of had to pull a lot of it out, like the chauffeur. And like 3 other characters, the religious, they like did a montage of, because if they did that, the audience would have been able to figure it out even quicker. So I think
Well, some people in the
to make this a better movie, you would make it so you don't find out as fast, you don't put it together as fast as you do, but with the way that the twist or the ending is, I don't know how you can do that. Maybe there is a way that someone much smarter at story writing could figure out, but that would be my suggestion.
Yeah, I that's what they do in the 74 version, and I'll try and find a clip of him explaining it at the end to send to you, because like I said, they very only briefly touch on the Armstrong murders in the 74 version, and everyone denies having any connection to it.
Oh, okay.
And he only, at the end, reveals he figured out they were all lying to him through other references they made.
Oh,
I'll be honest. I don't give a fuck about the 74 movie.
well, that makes sense though.
I was
I
trying
know,
to connect
I
it. They did it the way
I
he
mean,
just
we're
said.
talking about this
That
movie.
makes that makes
Dave.
sense though.
It makes sense, but they didn't do
Yeah.
it in this one. So I'm just saying. Like,
Well, that's how I'd fix it. I'd try to do it more that way.
Exactly,
Okay.
for sure.
All right. The only things I really had that I wasn't a super fan of, well, not super fan, but that I didn't like was, like I said earlier, I thought the stakes were very low. I was never sitting there trying to figure out who did it. I was just along for the ride. And then also the score. I think the score of this movie sucked. I don't remember one song from the whole movie. Do you?
It was constant tones more than like music. I thought it was nice. I thought it was appropriate.
I didn't notice it, which
no,
means for me that it was probably good then.
Yeah, it was good because it set the
I don't
tone without you noticing it. If
Maybe
you notice
because
if you notice like large gaps of sound, then it's bad. There's a lot of filler in there. So I don't know. I'm gonna say that's not a knock on it at all. That fact that you didn't notice it.
Oh no, I noticed like gaps, and
Oh.
I thought when I did notice it, I thought it wasn't fitting and could have been better. But maybe that's just me.
Yeah,
Would you want Hans Zimmer to do it?
No.
I mean, it definitely wasn't like great. Like it didn't stand out as great, but it didn't stand out as really bad like Blade Runner.
We're not getting into this. We're finally on the same page. We all love Blade Runner. It's your favorite movie.
Let's get into reviews.
All right, let's hop into our reviews. Those listening, if you're listening to another episode of us, you know we do it on a 3-prong scale. We do our critical score, looking at it through the eyes of a reviewer, our popcorn score, our entertainment if we'd watch it again, and then our pairings, what we'd drink with it if we are going to watch it again. Sheehan, what do you got? Let's do critics first.
Okay.
Do you want us to set a base for you and then you can middle around since you don't really?
No. I want to go
Okay.
with pure. I want.
Alright.
This is me.
But you
talking.
said you're undecided.
I'm not getting. I'm not getting pushed around. I think I've weighed and checks and balances and all that good nonsense. I think I got a good idea. Critically, it was visually pretty damn good looking. Loved it. It made me feel cozy, like you said. It was a good atmosphere. The story lacked in the fact that I didn't know what the fuck was going on until the end, which the director wanted me to do, and I didn't like that. So the fact that you guys
We
enjoyed
disagree
it
on that.
while doing
Yeah, I don't think the
I
director
don't care what
wanted you to
disagree
be
on,
shocked
okay?
at the end.
The director wanted you to be surprised at the end, or else he wouldn't do the whole Holy Father, the final
an
supper
idiot.
at the end. That was a whole to do. No, you're not. Shut the fuck up, Dave. I don't think it was really superly well done. We didn't know about the nonsense passenger who didn't show up. We didn't know about the Armstrongs, how they were denying it in the old movie, and that was better for. There were things that could have been done much better that made this a great movie. Johnny Depp was he was only in for 10 minutes. We needed more Johnny Depp. When the avalanche came, Johnny Depp didn't fall out of the bed. Everyone fell out of the goddamn bed and ended up in the hallway except for Johnny Depp. That didn't make sense either. Sorry,
He was drugged.
he was dead. Anyways, I'm gonna go with an 82% critically.
All right.
I liked it. It was good enough. I could have been better.
All right, Jimmy, what do you
Oh,
got?
I was just looking at our past movies to find my gauge, and you guys gave Thor 79, or that's at least what we settled on. So for John to come in with 82 makes me incredibly happy with him.
I'm blown away because I have a lower score than John right now, but I might adjust it because he kind of sold me on raising it with his whole explanation.
No, I was gonna
I'm very.
I was
honest person,
gonna
guys.
see what you said and float anywhere between 80 and an 85, and you know what? I'll just stick with 82. 83. I'm bumping it up 1%. 83.
Can I say this? You know what? Maybe part of my disappointment was the fact that I wasn't here. This is one of my most anticipated movies of the year. I was excited, beyond excited to watch this.
Okay.
So I think that's why I was a little disappointed.
I was like okay, go ahead.
I'm gonna go 81 so that we average out at 82 for John.
Easy math.
We disagree, but we're on the same page.
Yeah.
That's wild. Come on.
All right, I'll start us off with popcorns. I'm going 4.
Ooh, once again, we are on the same page because I'm also going 4. Like I said earlier, probably not this Christmas because I don't think it'll be out yet, but some Christmas when my whole family is together, we're going to sit on the couch and drink hot cocoa and watch this. I'm all in on watching it again.
Not 4. Not 4. Because if I'm sitting there thinking, what the fuck is going, that takes me out of it.
Maybe
It's a
you'd
murder
enjoy it
mystery.
more. Yeah, maybe you'd enjoy it more now.
Maybe. I do love those mustaches. I'm gonna go 3.
Ugh,
So what's that average? A 3.5?
Sorry, pal.
All right.
that's
Yeah.
too.
I got
That's
to.
too low. We gave Happy Death Day a 4.
This is the
That's fine.
disappointment
I can
factor,
live with-
guys. I mean, I'm not gonna not be true, Jimmy. Not gonna
I
not be
personally disagree with it, but I can live with a 3.5. I think that's still a pretty good entertainment score.
true. I say it with a heavy heart, okay, because it's just unfortunate. I have
What
to.
did
do
we
it.
give Battle of the Sexes? Because if we gave that anywhere below, if we gave that a 3.5, I will riot. Can't be given this the same thing as Battle of the Sexes.
I
popcorn.
think that was a 3.5.
I think no, that was before we all started agreeing on things. So that was
Oh,
I think
okay.
that was the pre-era of agreeing on things.
All right.
All right. Pairings. I'll go first. I would drink a nice old-fashioned bourbon on the rocks while watching this again.
Jimmy, you.
I'm drinking a Long Island iced tea. That's where Cassetti was from. But someone else makes it for you, and they leave out one ingredient, and you have to keep drinking them over and over again until you figure out what ingredient's missing.
Until you die.
Or die.
And no, what? Why do you get to come up with these ridiculous drinks? And when the one time I tried to do it, you guys tore me to shreds for it. This is bullshit.
that's what
With a joint.
I
Fuck you.
I forget what yours was.
It was a Zima with a joint or some shit like that.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, it was.
It was something else.
A Smirnoff Ice.
No, I don't think I ever recommended a Smirnoff
That was
Ice.
ridiculous, whatever it was.
But Sheehan, what are you drinking?
Well, originally
I hate you
I was gonna go with a nice classy old fashioned, but then I thought about it more and I was like, well, you know what? No, this was a disappointment. And I thought about what kind of drink makes me feel this way. It makes me feel very excited about it.
Natty Light?
And so I was thinking, when you transition from summer beers
No,
to
definitely
fall-
got to be a Natty Light.
Dave, shut the fuck up. I'm doing my thing, okay? When you transition from summer beers to fall beers, you drink summer beers heavily, and they go down smooth. They're nice, like the shandies, the lemon ales, and then you move over to Oktoberfest, and you're still excited to drink, and you get about 2 Oktoberfest deep, and it's like, oh, this is a different kind of thing. This isn't what I was expecting. This isn't the same enjoyment I was expecting out of this. That's where I'm at. So we're drinking I'm doing Flannel Fridays from a Harpoon Fest.
Nice.
All right.
All right. It's a little disappointing.
And that wraps up our review of Murder on the Orient Express. Let's hop into our weekly recommendations. Jimmy, what do you got for us this week?
Well, I did do the classic and coveted solo double feature Friday night. I saw LBJ before I saw Murder on the Orient Express because time-wise, I was just sitting at home like by myself waiting for a murder to start, and I was like, well, let's just find a movie that fits and go watch that. Movie Pass. LBJ, it's with Woody Harrelson. He plays...
Shout out, sponsor of the pod.
Yep, he plays Lyndon B. Johnson. It's all about Lyndon B. Johnson. It's a biopic. I was a history major. I love American history. It was really short, like a biopic that's only an hour and a half. That's really short usually. But it was the entertainment. Like I would give it the same exact scores that I gave Murder. Different movies, but I enjoyed it. And I was going in, I just watched it because it fit the time schedule, but I thought it was really good. Woody Harrelson I don't think he'll get nominated. Half the time I thought it was silly, but I think he's getting good reviews, but I think he did really good. He just had these big-ass prosthetics on that made him look like stupid. But it was a good movie. If you're interested in American history, the shooting of Kennedy, the transition from Kennedy to Lyndon B. Johnson, definitely check it out.
Nice.
All right. Sheehan, what about you?
I wanted you to go first, Jim. Or Dave.
I have seen this before, but I'm about to rewatch it because I just saw today they announced that the HBO Deadwood movie is going to start filming in 2018. So I'm going to start my rewatch of the series. Everyone go back to watch the GOAT of HBO shows. That's better than Sopranos, better than Game of Thrones, better than anything else they've done.
Better than The Wire?
Deadwood is the best show. I think so. Well, I've also only seen like the first few episodes of The Wire. I'm one of those crazy people.
I haven't seen any.
I watched, I did a Deadwood YouTube rabbit hole because I read that same article you did, and it's on my agenda now to watch those 3 seasons. I don't know if Deadwood's better. It's definitely, well, I'm not big on Sopranos. I like The Wire a lot. Game of Thrones is good. Deadwood's up there, though, but I don't know if it's for everyone because it's like, it's Shakespearean Western. Like, the way they talk is you really have to pay attention or have subtitles on, but it's so fun. It's just fun and like good.
Yeah, and maybe it's because I've just become accustomed to subtitle life that doesn't bother me.
Oh, I am subtitle 100% of the time. I hate that they're not on movie theaters.
Yeah, same here.
I'm
I
anti-subtitles.
agree. I would pay like an extra $1 to go to the movie theaters with subtitles.
I would,
on.
yeah. I would pay.
I wouldn't. Movie Pass would pay for me.
Nope. Context clues. You figure it out, guys.
No, man. Subtitles.
You couldn't figure it out.
Exercise those ears, good boys. Come on.
No, subtitles are awesome for like.
Just like you did.
For like people's names and places. Like when you watch Game of Thrones, it's so convoluted, but when you read it, you pick all that up 10 times faster than anyone else. Because there's so many people that watch shows and you're like, what about this character? Like, I don't know their names. But if you have subtitles, you're seeing their names all the time. And it only takes like a couple times where you get like immune to it because like I remember when subtitles used to bother me, like distract me, but then you figure out.
Yeah.
But I'm a big subtitle
Yeah.
advocate. Peaky Blind.
Sheehan, I post the challenge to you. Watch everything with subtitles for 1 week and see if you don't become a subtitle guy.
No.
Wait, Sheehan, have you watched Peaky Blinders ever?
No, this is what I'm going to get into my recommendations, okay?
Okay, go.
Because
You're just ignoring it. All right, go
because
on.
I did it. I sat down and I watched In Bruges.
Oh shit!
It was
All
great.
right, well, this just turned into an In Bruges
I
podcast.
fucking
We have
loved it.
another hour on.
I love movies where everyone dies at the end. It's fucking amazing.
I think he lives.
Spoiler alert.
Well, it's not said if he dies or
Oh,
not.
he definitely lives.
No chance he lives.
I think he 100%
He
lives.
100% lives.
Yeah.
No.
But that's a great movie.
No.
Wow, we are. Yeah, it's a fantastic
That
movie.
dude, if he did live, it's bullshit. He got shot 3 times through dead center of the chest, and at best, he's paralyzed.
Yeah, I mean, he could be
I
messed
think he
up, but I always thought he lives. And I've watched it a bunch of times. But, yo, how good is that movie? It's so funny. And then the moment where he's about to kill himself, but instead he stops him from...
Like, yeah.
He's like, how come you're allowed to kill me, but I'm not allowed to kill myself? That whole scene is like, put a genre on that scene. Because it's funny. It's like enlightening.
It's epitome dark comedy.
Yeah, but it's not just like there's like some deep shit going on too. It's not just like laughing at death. It's like some real introspective thought waves. Like, yeah,
He's about to come up behind him.
Yeah,
and shoot him back
I
in the head.
always
He's like,
I
"Whoa,
always
whoa,
go
whoa,
with
what are you
black
doing?"
comedy with.
yeah. I think it's more than
That
a
was-
black comedy.
It's deeper.
I
than that.
agree, but I think that's the best phrase to. If you're only going to use one phrase to describe it, I think that's the closest you can get.
Like, have you guys seen Death at a Funeral?
Yes.
That's
one of my all-time favorites.
That's
The
a black-
British version.
Yeah, the British version. Yes, that's a
Yeah.
black. That's a
Good
black comedy, and that is way different than In Bruges. In Bruges touches on something way more serious and lifelike than Death at a Funeral, in my opinion.
It's
I
technically
agree,
that
but I
same
just
comedy.
I have no idea what's even close though.
Nothing. In Bruges is a weird ass movie.
Death to Smoochie's up there.
I've never seen that,
Yeah.
but
No, you should check that guy
I
out.
will. All right.
But no, my absolute favorite scene is how his fat buddy got shot in the leg just to send a message, and then he finds out he's alive, so he kind of shuffles back up to the top of the tower. He's like, "All right, it's cloudy. I'm going down."
Yeah.
They show him fucking splattered on the sidewalk, but he's still able to talk for 20 seconds. Are you shitting me? Oh, I loved it. It was so I loved that.
Oh man, I'm so glad you finally watched this.
Mm-hmm.
There's
I was tickled watching this.
not to shout some other movie reviewer out or whatever, but there is this YouTube video explaining In Bruges. This guy who does YouTube videos explaining movies. You have to watch it. It's probably like 10 minutes long, but it's really.
I'll watch that, sure.
It's really good.
All right. We could probably do a whole other podcast on In Bruges. We might one day. If it's a slow week, we might just do that.
Yeah, maybe over the holidays when we have a little bit more free time, maybe do a little throwback Thursday.
Sure.
Yep, sounds good.
Also, check out a podcast that I'm listening to right now, Dirty John.
Dirty John.
It's about a con man named John Meehan. It's like one letter away from my name. It's a complete scumbag, and it's real dark shit.
Yeah, did he move to Connecticut and change his name to Sheehan?
He moved several places and has several different names.
Wait, is
so
it like
who knows?
true crime or is it like fictional story?
No, true crime.
Oh.
It's a real story about this woman who met this guy on Match.com and her life got fucked up afterwards.
I'm in. I love true crime shit like that. Cool.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
It's everything that
I'll give it a check.
Although I will caveat, I have not listened to the last three episodes, so it could go by the way of Shit Town or Serial, where the last
Mindhunter.
it might be disappointing, but so far it's great.
All right.
So there you go, my recommendations.
All right, that wraps up our weekly recommendations. Tune in next week and make sure you go to the theater. You watch The Man, The Myth, The Dark Knight, Roman J. is Israel. We're checking out the Denzel movie.
Say The Dark Knight like we're not going to see Justice League. Come on, Dave. Roman J. Israel it
But
is.
seriously, yes, go see Roman J. Israel Esquire. Denzel from the guy who created Nightcrawler should be good. All right, See you next week, y'all.
There has been a lot of murder and a lot of intrigue. My little heart can barely take it no more.